I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named buried. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies. The truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True crime jewels on the YouTube streets. Lights are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. Always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the True Crime journey with Jewels of Thought and her Gemstone family.
All right, everybody. Yeah, I'm back. And this time we're going to talk about true crime, like the kind you like, with the blood and gore. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So I do have something I want to talk about, and I don't think I need my headphones. Well, maybe I will need my headphones. Hang on. I probably will need them. Okay. All right. Now then, so my title, well, first of all, welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Some of you are coming back from the previous live that we did. So thank you so much. I appreciate for not pushing me off a cliff. I think you're very kind and wonderful people. The second thing is, please remember, hey, Brittany, good to see you. Please remember when you come in, hit the thumbs up. That'll give you a number. Put your number in the chat. Okay? That helps me. Okay? Linda McCrae, hashtag, say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Thank you. All right. So welcome everybody. Hi, Diane. It's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Tammy Clips, she actually is the winner tonight. She's number one. That's two totally different things. You have to be trained to use GPR also. So Tammy Clips knows what she's talking about. Thank you, Tammy. Maybe you can keep me on the straight and narrow, okay? Buckeye State, good to see you again. Crafting and True Crime with Jacqueline. Good to see you, Jacqueline. Team Doocy Doo, Sketty, known them friend. Sketty, I'm getting everything all geared up and ready to go live so we can do one of our fun game nights, giveaways. So, we had so much fun with like 2 Christmases ago. So we're going to do that again, but I got to get all of my Patreon. I've got to get it set up to go along with YouTube. And so I worked on that for a while today. True Crime Addict. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Butterflies are free to fly. Good to see you. Born Free. That was the same time period as Butterflies Are Free. Yeah, born free as the wind blows. Dee Dee Sue, welcome. Thank you for being here. Lady of Angels, my friend. Good to see you. And Marlena, you have been loyal and true blue. Marlena, I have been live and every time you've been there, so I am deeply appreciative. JG, so great to see you, and you have such a happy thumbnail. That's beautiful. And is that we got Brittany J, of course, allegedly with Brittany J is in the house. So everybody hashtag, hey Brittany. Sarah without the H. Gotcha, Sarah. We can handle that. Sipping on. Good to see you, Jane Clark. Troopers moms. Congratulations on having a trooper. Sketty Nona, already told you we were getting ready for our party. And Karen Binkley, welcome. It's good to have you. June Ms. Stacks, welcome. Peggy Hancock, good to see you. Number 27, it's my lucky number. Fatal Paper Cut. I am doing another live, yes. And this time we're going to talk about, the kind of crime that everybody else likes to talk about. So, but you were very sweet earlier. So thank you for being my friend. I was sad. Hey, C Star, Little Miss Sharon, good to see you. Sue from California in the house. Ms. Oakley, good to see you. Little Miss Sharon, Susan Kemp. Triggered. I think you were in here a while ago because I was just streaming a live event, minding my own damn business, and I'm just chattering and talking, having a great time. And I look over at my side chat, and I got people, man, they are raging. I think you were one of them. No, you weren't triggered. They were triggered. You were delightful. They're like, I don't want to talk about this. This isn't what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something else. And they got really mad at me. And, now I feel bad. So thank you for being here, Triggered. Karen Killeran, good to see you watching from a very hot Queensland. I come from a land down under. All right, she's from a land of Oz. Let's see. KC Chiefs for life. It's a Kelsey fan. Lisa. Ostrich. We got a lot of people in here tonight. Scotty Too Hottie. All right. Thank you, Triggered. I appreciate that. Some people did not appreciate my foray into federal law. They gave me a spanking. They're mad at me. They said, I'm going to unsubscribe because I don't want to talk about federal law. I was like, okay, I stand corrected. So we're back here to talk about everybody's favorite subject. The title of this live is SF Investigates, asks for ground penetrating radar. And the wonderful Aiden Mattis he has some friends and he's going to at the university. And so he's got some friends that are going to try to maybe put it together and try to get a wealthy family to help with the cost to try to get in this ground penetrating radar. We can all assume, I suppose, that Christopher and Katie Proudfoot would be excited about getting ground penetrating radar, because that information was first floated by their PI, Stephen Fisher. And that was the beginning of my thoughts. And I thought, Stephen Fisher, who I have a problem with, and I'm going to own it. And if you like Stephen Fisher, I respect you. You have the right to support Stephen Fisher and to believe in him. And that is okay. We are still going to be friends. Okay. I myself have some problems with him based on some things that he has said. Okay. But you are entitled to love him and idolize him. And I don't mind. That's okay. You're still welcome here. Okay. In fact, it makes for a much more interesting conversation if we have different opinions in the room. Okay, so I'm good with that. So don't feel like I'm mad at you or targeting you. I'm not. So I got to thinking about this. Makes me vaguely uncomfortable, right? This whole process, and I already did a video about this whole process that he went through where he began making people question Bobby, the local neighbor, and that she somehow was very nefarious. And SF Investigate, he even says, oh, Bobby's got some shady things to answer for. And everybody was like, ooh, what could that mean? And then everybody started looking at Bobby was side-eye. And Bobby's just sitting around going, what? I like to gossip. What's the problem? But that's not really what SF said. SF suggested that her son was out at 3 a.m. the night Sebastian went missing. That, yes, he was, quote, this is a quote, he was lying under the cover of darkness, waiting at 3 a.m. For what? A game of, was it flashlight tag? Is that what you said? He also said, and I quote, I've had her sons under surveillance, end quote. You get my point, right? That's sort of curious verbiage for a man who is a professional investigator. Why is he trying to make everybody look at Bobby like she's a criminal? Why is he trying to get everybody to look at Bobby and her minor sons? Why is he trying to get us to look at them like they somehow had it out for Sebastian? That they're going to hurt him? Now, this is the same man who said that he did not want to reveal to Mob Crew, who, look, Mob Crew is so chill. He's one of the nicest people on this whole YouTube streets. It is so odd for him to say this, but he said that he just couldn't let those pictures get out of the car, you know, where the black box is. He just can't let those pictures get out because then people will be trying to figure out who the car belongs to. They'll go into the neighborhood and go around knocking on the doors of all the people in the neighborhood, which is exactly what Stephen Fisher did, in fact, do. And he says it's really dangerous for them to try to uncover people. They're trying to uncover people and dox them and put them out there, that it's dangerous and that people want their privacy. And it's not okay to do that, as he's telling you that Bobby has things that she needs to answer for. And that Bobby's twins were shadowing the cops, that they were following the cops around to see what they were up to, and that her oldest child was hiding at 3 a.m. the night that Sebastian went missing, and that he was hiding under the cover of darkness. Okay, so not only SF investigates, not only did you completely just make up a story that is completely fictional, that has no resemblance to the truth whatsoever, but the target of your invented fictional tale is a woman named Bobby that's had her face all over YouTube because she was kind enough to do an interview, and she stated in that interview, I do not know the Proud Feet. She said it, Stephen Fisher. I don't know them. I didn't know about them until Sebastian went missing. I thought the old man and the old lady still lived in that house. I didn't even know the house had been sold. Stephen, I know that you're from California, buddy. I know you wear socks with your sandals, okay? I'm an open, kind person. I can accept that about you. But I cannot accept how you talk out of both sides of your mouth. What is it? You don't want to identify people because it can be dangerous, and yet you turn around a woman that everybody knows who she is, and you start saying that her sons need to be investigated for the death of Sebastian? What was that about? That was crazy. So excuse me, Stephen, if I start thinking about this very strange thing that you said, that you thought because of the construction site that is actually at the back of Bobby's backyard, isn't it, Stephen? You actually put up video. You won't show the video of the car, but you'll show the video of Bobby's backyard. What's that about? What are you trying to do? Are you being trickery? Is this Stevie trickery? And you, as you're showing this video, you're saying, see over there, that's all the construction. That's the new part of the houses building, that's going on. Oh, and what if, and look, Stephen, I'm from the South. Okay. I'm not a son of the South. I'm a daughter of the American Revolution. And when someone says, I think that the missing kid probably just wandered over there to the construction site in the middle of the night. And then he got sleepy and tired and he thought, I think I'll just lay down right here and I'll just take me a little old nap. And he's so fast asleep, he's having dreams and visions of sugar plums dancing in his head. And the big giant bulldozer carrying 13 tons of dirt backs up, beep, 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 and then slowly begins to lift the bucket. And the dirt begins first to trickle out of the back until finally the whole thing is plopping down onto the ground under literally thousands of pounds or hundreds of pounds. But Sebastian wouldn't wake up, Steve? Like, you don't think the backing up with the beeping noise, you don't think that'd wake him up? What about laying in the dirt with no blanket? And 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning becomes 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's now wet and cold. He's still not going to wake up? Is that what you're saying? I'm feeling a little confused, Stephen. All right. And then when the dirt starts trickling out a little bit first and lands on his face, that also is not going to wake him up. So I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with your little story, Mr. Fisher. And as I'm thinking about, okay, why does this story make me uncomfortable? Like, what is it about that? It was mighty specific. If you think that Stephen Fisher's story about the construction, the dirt, the ground penetrating radar, if you felt like it was just a little too specific and it made you feel a little uncomfortable, could you put a 1 in the channel? If you found it to be an exceptionally brilliant idea, put a 2. And then I'm going to have a little drink of water because I'm parched. We've got some ones. The sound of the machines, correct? Yeah, that makes a lot of noise. Look at that. That isn't that. Well, thank you guys. I'm feeling better already because obviously I wasn't the only one that felt uncomfortable. Welcome, Mary Rogers. Horseman. Welcome. Yippee-ki-yay. Good to see you. Brown Eyed Girls. Karen Killeran. Jane Clark. So many fine people here. Peggy Hancock. Good to see you. Dee Marie. Oh, Amy, oh my. Me, oh my. Crawfish pie. Filet gumbo. Cause tonight we're gonna see Mama shed a meal. He's really pushing that narrative, ain't he? Oh, Marlena, it's so bad. Yeah, it's unanimous, Scotty. It's unanimous. Look, there's .com, one of my friends. Thomas Tier, welcome, a friend. Mina, Sherry, Mandy Moon, Irony. I've said it for a while, and I hate to say it like this, but I think someone will eventually find him and play it off like they just stumbled upon it. I have that feeling. I do. Oh, yeah, the caved in cave. That made me very uncomfortable, Linda. Oh, yeah. And it was kind of just like skinny, but went super deep. Yeah, like a caved in cave. Heard that. Robo Granny. Plus, Sebastian had problems sleeping in the first place. Did they forget to tell SF that? So you see, Stephen, we're all feeling a little uncomfortable with your fantasy crime life. Okay, we're gonna accept it's a fantasy. And I got to thinking about Steve-O and his dirt construction, large, heavy machinery fantasy. I know it's kind of a dirty thought, but here we are. And I was thinking about heavy machinery and this fantasy that Stephen played out to us. And then I thought, well, doesn't Christopher operate heavy machinery for a living? I'm talking about Christopher Proudfoot's SF's bestie. Doesn't he operate heavy machinery? Isn't that it? Because he said that, oh, I'm a crane operator. I'm not a smooth operator. He said a crane operator. I was going to have that song play, and then I thought, no, that's way too much fun to have. So I'm not going to do that. So anyway, so he says he's a crane operator. He's building large, construction projects right now for St. Jude Hospital. And I got to thinking, gosh, I wonder where, there's not a lot of people that do that kind of work. I wonder where he, well, first of all, let me say this. How many folks get buried by large, construction sites? Is that even a thing? Because I do think that Stephen took quite a while to kind of talk about all of his experience and how he got experience that led him to be a private detective. And so I got to thinking, I thought, well, is that really a thing that somebody would get murdered or just lay down in dirt and get covered up by dirt? Is that like in a construction site? Is that even really a thing? And so I asked that question, and here's what I learned. In 2003, in New York City, there was a woman, Patricia Kathleen McGlone. And in this particular example, construction workers found the skeleton of a teenage girl encased in concrete in the basement of a building in Midtown Manhattan. The victim was known as Midtown Jane Doe for over 20 years. And in 2024, investigators used forensic genetic genealogy to identify her. And magically, Patricia Kathleen McGlone was discovered. She went missing in 1969. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And the fact that she was found in the concrete in the basement, I can kind of see that where maybe she was killed, she was pushed off into the hole and they covered her up. I mean, really all you'd have to do is just go back there, dig a shallow grave where they're going to be pouring dirt the next day anyway. The worker's not going to really pay attention, are they? That's all you need to do. I kind of got a little upset when I read that. Then I heard about Cassie Bach, 2023. A man was arrested for murdering Cassie Bach. Her body was found buried in concrete in the crawl space of a condominium. Bach's mother was also arrested for hiding the body. That is some dark stuff. You know what else that is, Stephen Fisher? That is one very clear example where not all mothers are warm and fuzzy chocolate chip cookie baking kinds of moms. You know what I mean? Some moms are your monster, and you have to learn to live with them or they'll kill you. Then there was another example in 1888. We're going far back into Lore Lodge's time. Whitehall Mystery. In 1888, a worker found a female torso in a vault during construction of the new Scotland Yard in Westminster. The torso was found wrapped in cloth and tied with string. The victim's identity was never established. But they didn't have good old DNA back then, did they? Christopher. In this day and age, sooner or later, that DNA is going to tumble out, and then you do a couple of tests, and then you know who they are. And then what do? Let's say Sebastian's not discovered for 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. You're still a young person. You can still go to prison. Lupara Bianca. It's an Italian name for a mafia murder where the victim's body is never found. One way to commit lupara bianca is to bury the victim in concrete at a construction site. And on December the 6th, 2024, in Edmonton, Canada, human remains were found at the Hanover construction site. The Hanover Police Service was investigating human remains that were dug up at a construction site on Tuesday around 9:15. This was December 6th, remember? Police secured the scene and investigated with help from the coroner's office and a forensic anthropologist. Hanover police said it was determined the remains were from a 12 to 18-month-year-old that was buried around a century ago. No criminal activity is involved in the discovery, so the Registrar of Ontario's Funeral, Burial, and Cremation Services has invoked its mandate. You must stop construction. It will work to recover all remains to bury properly in the local cemetery. Police said they will also search historical records alongside the town of Hanover officials to identify the child and see if there are any living descendants. And they'll probably take a DNA sample if they can find somebody to give them the money to do such a thing. So the point of me looking this up, Stephen, is, I thought, what a foolish thought for Stephen to think that Sebastian would walk over, lay down in the dirt for a nice, cold, wet nap, and find himself buried under a ton of dirt from construction workers. And now, after reading those stories, I've decided perhaps it wasn't such a foolish thought to begin with. I think that was your expertise bubbling up to the top, Stephen. And so then I got to thinking, yeah, but that's a lot. That you'd have to be really slick, right, Barry? Oh, Barry. Barry knows about burying some things, don't you, Bear? And I thought, you gotta have to be super slick. You gotta at least obscure the young lad's body, because no normal, decent man or woman, heavy machine operator, is going to go, golly, that sure does look like a shallow grave. I'm just going to dump this bucket of dirt right here on top of it. That's not going to happen. So you'd at least need to be able to dig, maybe, I don't know, what was Christopher Watt's hole that he dug for his bride, 3 feet deep? I thought that could take some preparation, unless you know how to operate heavy machinery. Maybe you steal a key one day, or you're friends with somebody who operates that machinery. Then it might be something really easy to do in the middle of the night, in a few moments, a few nights before you fill that hole in. And so I got to thinking about Christopher, and I said, yeah, but he operates like a crane. He's not using bulldozers and backhoes and all that, right? He's a crane. It's probably crane specific. So then I got to looking up Christopher Proudfoot, his educational foundation. And I thought, well, now this is very interesting. This is something I had never really heard of before. Who knew that there was a Tower Crane School of Phoenix? Who knew that? More importantly, did you know that there is and I quote, Heavy Equipment College of America? Y'all think I'm kidding? I'm going to show it to you right now. Y'all hang on just a second. I got to hit present. Then I've got to share my screen. Here we go. We're looking at the resume of the young Christopher Proudfoot. Yes, He actually joined the Navy in 2003, where he was a career counselor. You wondered how he knew how to talk to people and be charming and earn their trust. He joined in 2003. That would mean 22 years ago. So let's say he graduated from high school, I don't know, like 18. I wonder how old the sheriff is. We may have to work that math out. But anyway, he stayed for 16 years in the Navy. That's a career, right? He got out in 2019, and that's when he went to college. He went to the Heavy Equipment College of America, and then I guess his specialty was cranes. He's got some kind of NCCO crane license, I suppose you call it. All right. Now then, I got a little info here for you. Oh, that's Terrence Hamilton. Did they take? I think they just took Christopher Proudfoot down. That's so weird. How'd they do that so fast? How'd they know that? I found it. Okay. Don't worry. How many of you were worried? If you were worried, put a 1. You weren't worried. I know you weren't. Share screen. All right, here we go. All right. It's kind of like riding horses, isn't it? All right. So this is actually like a little newsletter from the Heavy Equipment College. This is the Alumna Spotlight featuring Christopher Proudfoot, June the 21st, 2021. HEC alumni like Christopher Proudfoot can tell you firsthand how important receiving the right training and education is to your lifelong success. I edited that and added the lifelong. It's just what I do. No matter where you are in life, you can find ways to better yourself through education. I'm an education girl. Whether you are a veteran looking for a smooth transition to civilian life or someone searching for a rewarding career, you can find programs designed to help you reach your goals. Read more about them in the Alumna Spotlight below. Now, Christopher's favorite quote is, "I like being able to see the fruits of your labor as a project progresses." That was Christopher's favorite quote. I like being able to see the fruits of your labor as a project progresses. And then he got his degree from the Heavy Equipment College. Chris was in the military where he developed skills and experience using heavy equipment. Notice this doesn't say cranes. It says heavy equipment, suggesting all heavy equipment like backhoes and bulldozers.
Most operators I know can operate all of it.
Say that again.
Most operators I know can operate all of it.
Oh, so you mean like when they come in to build a location, they'll have multiple types of heavy equipment, and if you're good at one, you'll be good at using most of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So Christopher could probably manage a backhoe. He'd probably be okay. I mean, if he can handle that great, big, long crane stuck up in the air, I'm sure he could manage a little bitty backhoe.
Yeah, they all got nice little joysticks on.
And
you know he probably likes to play with his joysticks.
No, don't go there. As he was leaving the Navy in 2019, Chris began thinking about what kind of civilian career that he might want. He had already experienced working in an office setting in a managerial position as a career counselor, but decided that he belonged to the heavy equipment industry. The more that I learn, I'm trying not to laugh. The more I learn, the more that I learn about SF Investigates and Christopher Proudfoot, the more I understand why they've become such besties. Christopher went from being a career counselor to a very similar career in heavy equipment operating. SF Investigator was going to be a commercial pilot, and then he transitioned to a parallel career in fashion photography, taking pictures of like girls' clothing. These are two men that like to push the envelope and test the horizons, at least in their careers. So Christopher decided it was time to look into heavy equipment programs, and that is what we offer at HEC. He was able to find a location convenient to him, and he quickly qualified for just about everything in the HEC Cranes program. Of course, he qualified for everything. It's Christopher Proudfoot. He can do it all. He knows it all. He is now employed as a crane operator for P&J Arcomet. Oh, I think that was a HIPAA protected. Isn't that HIPAA protected information? Huh. He is responsible for daily crane safety inspections and operating the crane to pick up and precisely move objects and materials. When asked about what led him to pursue a career in heavy equipment, Chris had this to say: I like being able to see the fruits of my labor as a project progresses. One common reason that veterans like Chris choose heavy equipment college is that heavy equipment college is composed of many former military members. There are even campuses specifically for veterans. It's no secret that the journey back into civilian life can be quite difficult, and no one knows that better than the staff at HEC. I love the fact that they dealt with veterans. Most of the instructors are veterans, so everybody has a good understanding of that mindset. Beyond the commonalities between other veterans on campus, Chris also loved how HEC reached out to help students, from hands-on training with newer equipment to instructors treating you as an individual rather than just a student. There's not anything wrong with being just a student. Everybody has to start as just a student. HEC offers a unique experience. Of course, it also helps that HEC has multiple locations. I felt like we covered that. I liked the whole school. I liked it. I said, that's a nice school. That's a real nice school. The way they have that school set up, it's phenomenal. It's by far the best school setup I've ever been to. And I've done college. Why Heavy Equipment Colleges of America? The heavy equipment training programs at HEC can help you learn skills and earn certifications, so you can start a rewarding career in the construction industry. To take a look at our programs below and discover the benefits of starting your career path at HEC. I was going to look at this to see if this was just cranes, right? Or education on operating cranes. But this says right here in this feature article that is highlighting Christopher Proudfoot and his accomplishments, it says there are so many opportunities in the heavy equipment industry, you may even find yourself working jobs far away from home. And the best part of this industry is that it's not going to go away anytime soon. There will always be a need for people who can construct roads, bridges, and other vital pieces of infrastructure. They didn't say anything about buildings, but they should have. If you're searching for mentoring, this industry is full of opportunity. This is an industry that will never go away. I don't care how bad the economy is. You got to have people to build. You just got to have people to build and to do other things that most people want, like build Disney World. And the money's there. The education is here. Opportunities, even traveling. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, running the tower crane, and I live in Nashville. Discover your opportunity by being Christopher. No, by starting with education, training, and certifications as the heavy equipment colleges of America. Hashtag America. I thought that this would have like individual classes, courses. Well, this is sort of a list of program. Okay, well, not sort of a list. It is a list of programs. You can get a certificate for heavy equipment operations level 1. Are different heavy equipment different harder than others?
It's a certification so you can work on different sites.
Okay, so it's the site that you're being site certified or equipment certified?
Being equipment certified, but there's a lot of different equipment. I'm sure it goes by weights and everything else.
By weights, okay. Yeah, because I think he's in one of those cranes that's like up in the air. Certificate of Heavy Equipment Operations Level 1, Certificate of Heavy Equipment Operations Level 2. There's HVAC, there's heating and air technology, and then there's just refrigeration. Certificate of Heavy Equipment Operations, Horizontal Directional Drilling. Now we're talking, people. Now we're talking. Hell yeah. This is what we were looking for right here. This is the kind of stuff. Let's see if they got individual. Let's see what they say. That is a directional drilling machine. That is a ditch witch. You get a boring unit. It's a ditch witch boring unit. I do want you guys to know that I don't know anything about what I'm talking about, but my husband does, so that counts. All right. Directional drilling. That might come in handy if you needed to hide a body, huh? Yeah? No, it wouldn't?
No.
Okay. See, I told you I didn't know what I was talking about. But you can, if this is the kind of career that you hope for, you can get federal financial aid. Why wouldn't it help you? It's not digging? It doesn't say what it does, does it?
Drilling a hole.
Yeah, that's what I said. When you put the body in the hole?
Yeah, but it doesn't drill vertical. It drills horizontal.
I know, but that's what I would do. I would dig a little hole, then I would do a sideways hole or a horizontal hole.
It has a lot of setup. You couldn't do that just.
Oh, you're saying that wouldn't be like a very practical solution.
No,
okay.
3 or 4 people.
Okay. I have been corrected by one who knows heavy equipment. Okay. All right. So the bi-directional, horizontal directional drilling, that's the machine that you need if you want to dig underneath a road. Okay. That's what you need. Okay. This is mobile crane, tower crane. I think that's what Christopher Proudfoot does. Tower crane. There is lattice boom crawler crane. Would that help? No. Certificate of fixed cab crane operation with rigging and signaling. Associate of occupational science in heavy equipment. This is getting really complicated.
Useless job.
Now, don't say that. That's not true. They build our nation, our infrastructure.
Occupational guy, it's probably a safety man.
Oh, well, safety men need love too. Heavy equipment colleges. Let's see. Yeah, they're not listing equipment. So we're just going to live in a world of fantasy like Stephen Fisher. We're just going to say, we're going to assume that if you can operate a tower crane, you can probably manage a backhoe or a bulldozer. So I get thinking about these two guys. Christopher Proudfoot operating heavy machinery. He even went to heavy machinery college, no less. Hell, I didn't even know that was even such a thing. And it's absolutely a thing. We just went through it with the various degrees or certifications, right? Programs, I think they're called. And SF Investigate is having fantasies of big piles of dirt that would require heavy machinery to move the big piles of dirt. And then they're calling for a ground penetrating radar. And I think I feel uncomfortable. Does anybody feel uncomfortable with where this is headed? That this is sort of a disturbing topic. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm being goofy about it because it's uncomfortable for me, but I do think it's a conversation we have to have in light of the fact that Stephen Fisher said in an interview with Lore Lodge that he thinks that, or no, he said it in Queen Bee's channel and Lore Lodge. He said that, he thinks that Sebastian walked away, walked over to the construction site, laid down in the dirt, and a pile of dirt got poured on him, and now there he is today. And they need a ground penetrating radar so they can find him. He said it on two different channels. I feel uncomfortable. All right. So we have 197 people in here. I want the truth. Does this seem uncomfortable? Second generation construction. Is that like a store? Well, and there's a very good question. Who asked that question? Rosebud. Thank you, Rosebud. That was my next thought. Okay, Steven, I'll play this game. What are you going to do if they find him there? In a world where your sheriff gives a damn, in a world where the sheriff is really investigating a potential crime, you wouldn't want to put out there to the world, oh, I think he laid down in the dirt and he got a pile of dirt dumped on him and there he is today. And now we got to go dig him up with a ground penetrating radar. You probably wouldn't want to say that, because if they find him there, the cops are going to come to you and say, hey, Steve-O, how the hell did you think up that fantasy that's so obscure? Let's be clear here, people. I showed you 5 different articles of people being buried in construction sites. The cops are going to want to know why you had that thought. And you're going to have to explain how it is that a big old 15-year-old boy laying in the dirt, nobody sees him as they dump the dirt. The beeping on the truck backing up doesn't wake him up. How about the cold and the dew on the ground? What about the dirt falling on his head? No, you don't think any of that's going to wake him up, Steve? Like, really? I don't think you thought this through, Steve. Kind of like you watched Riley Strain fall into the water. I don't think you really thought it through, Steve-O. So I'm wondering, is there a way to ask the FBI if they have a ground penetrating radar? If we could get the FBI to agree to bring in their ground penetrating radar and explain to them where this brilliant idea came from, right from the mouth of Stephen Fisher, maybe something will happen if he is found. You know what I mean? The cops were out there before construction guys were. Well, so thank you for saying that, Linda, because SF, he presents this picture where when you get there, the construction trucks, the large heavy equipment, they're all running back and forth, just truck after truck after truck filled to the top with construction dirt, and they never stop the whole day. When there's everybody searching for Sebastian, they never stop. They go and they go and they go. I mean, Linda, he's saying that the construction never stopped. If SF asks Crabtree to assist and Crabtree finds him, guess what? I'm afraid he would point suspicion toward Stephen Crabtree. I mean, Della, you know what? That is, thank you for saying that. Like, really, it's uncomfortable to have these conversations, but they're accurate. And you just took it one step further and you are 100% accurate. If, let's just pretend, we're going to play a hypothetical here. Let's say that we're all living in a Sherlock Holmes novel, okay? Sherlock Holmes or Agatha Christie. Let's say Stephen's right. Somehow someone told him where the body was buried. All right. And so he's trying to figure out a way to get all this wrapped up and legally finished so that the proud feet are not being, talked about and whatnot. And he comes up with this idea. Well, we got to investigate. We got to get some ground penetrating radar up in here. But then in our hypothetical Agatha Christie story, Stephen Crabtree, well, he comes in here skulking about under cover of darkness, eavesdropping on our brilliant lives, listening to our conversations. And he suddenly realizes, oh, hell, I didn't think about that. Yeah. If I tell them to go get a ground penetrating radar and shoot it right there, they're going to find Sebastian, and then they're all going to look at me and say, hey, Steve-O, how the hell did you know that boy was laying there? And then I don't know what I'm going to say. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I'm the one that's searching on the other side of the location, and I'll just get that helpful young lad, Stephen Crabtree. I'll get him or Cletus to do the dirty work. Yeah, that's how we'll handle this. Thank you, Della. You're 100% right. This is very uncomfortable. And now you see, Barbula, this is the kind of thing that just is disturbing to me. What I know about Terry Bowersox is that, doesn't he have is it like a touring bus? Does he take people on tours up to Alaska, Denali or something? Am I right about that? I think that's what he does. Yes, that is true, Carrie Starr. And you have to wonder why they're refusing to turn it over to that or to ask FBI for help, right? Okay, so nobody's given me the answer. Oh, Della. Okay, so Barb Bueller, I'm going to comment on Della's comment in just a minute, but I want to finish here with what Barb said. I don't know if he has a construction company, but I haven't researched the Bowersox unless there was a reason, unless something came up that I thought was very uncomfortable. Like, I find it to be very uncomfortable that the DA was over at Katie Proudfoot's house the day that Sebastian went missing. That is something I have never seen. I have never seen a missing kid result in the district attorney leaving work and coming to the house. That is very curious. That is not the norm. So I think that is a little bit uncomfortable. But I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about uncomfortable about the Bower Sox other than they did leave 3 weeks after Sebastian went missing. They did leave to go to Alaska, which means they went through Canada. There's a lot of places in Canada to bury a body. You know what I mean? But I don't know anything about them. I think she's like a isn't she a realtor? I think she has a realty company. She maybe flips expensive houses or something. Um, so I don't know if Terry Bower Sox owns a construction company, but that wouldn't be unusual. Like I think that would make sense because Christopher Proudfoot, even though he had this career in the military, when he left, he went directly into heavy machinery college, and so maybe that was the plan. Maybe he would get educated and then he would take over the family business. I mean, maybe that was how he came to do what he does. So maybe there's a construction company. Does anyone know? Let me check the comments. He owns an RV. He owns RV motor homes and takes football teams to games. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Didn't Christopher say that his parents had to go to Alaska for work? They had to take a bus or something? Am I, am I hallucinating? Kathy's brother owned it and passed it down to his son, Danny Guy. That's the name, second generation. Sandy. Okay, light dawns on yonder. I got you now, Jules. Second generation construction was actually a Proudfoot home or company. Is that what y'all are telling me? Oh my God. And they are in Alberta. Okay, this can't be real. Second generation construction is in Gallatin, Tennessee. Well, you know what, Christopher? This is very unfortunate. This is very unnerving. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share it so we can all talk about this. I want to make sure I'm understanding this too. Okay, Kathy Proudfoot, right? Kathy Proudfoot's brother owned it and passed it down to his son, Danny Guy, and that's the name, second generation construction. And that is a Proudfoot. No, it wouldn't be Proudfoot. What would be, okay, tell me, Sandy, what's the brother's last name or Kathy's maiden name? Is it Brinkley or Binkley or something like that? Mama Bower Sox owns the construction company. Terry Bower Sox works for a motor coach company. The Guy family owns the second generation construction. So it was Kathy Guy and Danny Guy. I got to add that to my. Okay, Kathy Guy and Danny Guy. Why is that familiar? Wait a minute. Y'all hang on a minute. Danny Guy. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, well, that is crazy. All right, I'm done. Sorry, y'all. I had to check on something. Okay. I feel like I need to sit back and regroup for a minute. This is very, this is really something. Oh, that is pretty. There it is, right there. And that is, according to Julie, that is 1.2 miles. Oh my goodness. Is there a sheriff in this county? Do y'all know? Like, is there actually a working sheriff anywhere around or what? Yeah, gymnastics. We don't know, Rosebud. It doesn't happen. It's not the norm. And who knows? But he was there. And Terry owns the company that builds touring RV buses. I was thinking it was like the big, like the Greyhound buses, and he was like going up to Denali or something. That's what happens when you assume. Mommy Bowersocks is a guy. I know. You wanted to make that joke. I am too, Bear. That's her maiden name, Guy, capital Guy. I was uncomfortable the moment SF mentioned the job site and the possibility of the dirt. I felt sick to my stomach. Della, thank you so much for saying that. I too I just felt frozen. Like I just thought, what did he just say? Like it kind of made me a little, I was taken aback. I was like, well, that is such a strange thing to say. They are motor coaches, not RVs. So I was right, Alessia. Building, modified transport, trafficking, concealment. Ooh, Zoots and Boots. She went there real fast. Thank you, Zoots. That's what I like. Don't mess around. Just spit it out, girl. No, but they found her DNA in their car, and the ground penetrating system showed that both properties had major disturbances in the concrete and soil. Um, which case are you talking about, Bliss? Mama Bowersocks is a guy, Barb. She was Mama Guy. Kathy Guy was her maiden name when she was a cheerleader. She was a little cheerleader. And they would say, yay, yay, go, Kathy Guy. And then she got married. And now they call her Kathy Bowersocks, which is a lot better than Kathy Guy. So Mama Socks, Mama Boom Boom, Dee Marie. It's Mama Boom Boom. She is the mover and shaker. She's making things happen there in Hendersonville. Sumner County. Mama Boom Boom seems to have a lot of pull in Sumner County, if you know what I'm talking about. She and the DA seem to be real tight. Oh, see, Sandy's got me straightened out again. So I had that wrong. So her brother is not Danny Guy. Her son is Danny Guy. So Danny Guy is Christopher Proudfoot's half brother. Is that what you're saying, Sandy? I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. That's what I thought, Karen Killeran. Finn, how are you? So great to have you. No, I don't think it's his cousin. I think it's his either his stepbrother or his half brother. Right, Sandy? What? The subdivision is owned by Mama Boom Boom? Is that true? Wow. Are you sure? Me too, Rosebud. I'm with you all the way on that. I think the FBI should call Stephen Fisher's bluff, go directly to the construction site, do the underground search. If you find Sebastian, Stephen, proceed directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You know what I mean, big guy? Yeah, I get it. The second generation construction company. This is very, I'm freaking out right now because of Danny Guy. Didn't the parents take one of the fifth wheels to Alaska? I thought they took a big, like, motorhome bus, like a great Greyhound touring bus. Danny Guy is mom. Well, I'm confused. Kathy Bowersox was Kathy Guy. Her brother is Bryant, as in Bryant Guy. And her son is Danny Guy? Hmm. I'm going to resist that joke because that's the kind of person I am. Hey, Horseman. Oh, thank you for clarifying this for me. Danny Guy is not her brother. Alessia says it's not. You guys are having an argument, and me and Della, we're just sitting over here waiting for the right answer. I heard the same about the construction company. Yeah, Julie Skolnick said that it was, and I didn't understand. I thought it was like, like I don't know, maybe like a storage or, but I see now, Julie, that is amazing. He went to Canada to deliver an REV bus and then they flew back. Oh, that is convenient, Linda. That makes me feel better. Things like illegal powders often go undetected and concealed in extremely sophisticated cavities. It's like a black market business. It's in Gallatin. He is her nephew. So Bryant is her brother, and Bryant's. Oh, I got it now. Thank y'all. Y'all are right. Kathy and Bryant are brother and sister. Bryant's son is Danny. I got it. I got it right there. Big D is not named Danny. Well, who the hell is Big D? Do you guys remember at the very beginning when like the Cajun Navy was in town, they were looking for Sebastian? Do you remember the dude that was driving a big old boy, and he was riding around in a big old black truck, and he was dramatically larger than Christopher Proudfoot, but he had Christopher Proudfoot's face. They looked exactly alike. Is Big D Danny Guy? Is that who Big D is? Uncle Danny has all the equipment that he needs. Danny is Kathy's nephew, which would be Christopher's first cousin. And Stephen Crabtree is related. Bryant Duran Guy, and his son is Danny Guy. Okay. Who was on the Hate Channel? Which one was he on? So Danny Boy builds the houses and Mama Boom Boom sells them. Well, yeah, got yourself a little racket going on there, don't you? Look at Julie coming in hot with addresses. She is on the case. When there's a child that has been abused, you do not want this woman knowing about it. I'm telling you, You're in big trouble if she finds out. And she knows what she's talking about. DG is CB's brother. CB? Bowersox? No. No, that's not right, Trishy. Danny Guy is Kathy Bowersock's nephew, her brother's son. They haven't been really letting him on. Yeah, I think he needed a break. Yes, Barb, she was Kathy Guy. Maddie Kathy Guy is her legal name. That's kind of cute, Addie. He is CP's cousin. Kathy's maiden name is Guy. She married Michael Proudfoot. And Michael Proudfoot married Linda Proudfoot. And Linda had a lovely daughter named Melissa, who likes green. Kathy Bowersox is the realtor. Danny is the one who builds the houses. Okay. Big D is how Nina referred to him. Big D is Danny. Is when she was talking about Big D, she was referring to the first cousin to Christopher. Is that right? Yes, Horseman. It is very cozy. They are a cozy family for certain. And you know the Proudfoot fan club here on YouTube. That's a cozy little group. There's a lot of marriage. There's a lot of they're all related to each other. Big D is Kathy's brother. His kid is Danny. No, I don't think no. Bryant is Kathy's brother. Danny is Kathy's nephew. And what I'm trying to find out is Big D, Danny Guy. Is Danny Guy, Christopher Proudfoot's first cousin, is that Big D? Oh, I believe that 100%, Queen of Hearts. Yes. Okay. Oh, question opinionated. Is Duran Guy, is that Bryant Guy, or is that a different one? Does Kathy have two brothers? Wait, what? You got a great name. Wait, what? It's so much, Ash Cash, but I'm gonna see it through, girl. I'm gonna see it through till I figure it out, man. We are in the rabbit hole, Rosebud. We are deep in the rabbit hole. Okay, CP's other brother has disowned the mother, Mama Boom Boom, and Terry Boom Boom's oldest son has disowned his dad. Oh, well, they're not in the club, are they? It's sort of like the Adelson family. That is mildly disturbing. The beautiful houses, Scotty. Absolutely gorgeous. The pictures I saw online, gorgeous. Danny is the fixer in the family, as mentioned by other crimes. Oh, Big D. Big dog. Big dog guy. Big dog and Mama Boom Boom. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a true crime movie set back in like the 1930s, doesn't it? There's seriously ground penetrating testing done. I immediately was nauseous when he mentioned that. I know, Bliss. It's a terrible thing. I've been studying the genealogy. I can tell, Sandy, you have done a great job. They also have a lot of cousins with the last name Bradford. Any names like Binkley? Kathy Guy's mom's maiden name was Bradford. That family owns that county, so to speak. So it's the Bradford name that's so powerful. That definitely opens up. That is a piece of fill the blank in information right there. Bradford, Sumner County. Hmm. Looky here. Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development is happy to announce the Bradford Company will be expanding in Gallatin. Henry Bradford family. They owned much land in Sumner County, Rutherford, and Wilson counties. Henry Bradford was the revenue collector. Yeah, well, it's all getting clear now, isn't it, Mr. DA? Let me run over to Mama Boom Boom's son-in-law's son's house. This is not good. Well, or it is good because at least now we know why Eric Craddock is too frightened to do anything. You know what this is starting to sound like, Eric Craddock? This is starting to sound like some dirty South. You know what I mean? I am vaguely disturbed by all this. He is bought. Looks like he's paid for. Julie Skolnick is a very good genealogist. Seems like Alicia is as well. You guys are on it. I mean that we ended up right there where we need to be. It's the Bradfords. That's the connection. It sounds like the cornbread mafia, Horseman. You know what, Julie? Like I said, I'm a daughter of the South. Um, I knew there was a connection. Like there always is in these towns with this kind of nonsense going on. There's always a family that is generations deep, right? They're generations deep in the fabric of the social strata. And so when a kid or a grandkid grows up and they act out, they find themselves in trouble, then it's grandpa's money, grandpa's reputation, grandpa's history that people don't want to contend with. People are like, "Oh, that's the what was the Murdoch?" You know, everybody was like, it's Alec Murdoch. We know that he's a criminal. We know that he's useless. We know that he's a problem. Just look the other way so we don't have to deal with the real Murdoch. Because it's Granddaddy Murdoch that we don't want to deal with. So just look the other way. And I knew that had to be what was happening in Hendersonville with the way things were laying out. How do you have 5 CPS investigations with the same child in less than 2 years and nobody's put your ass in jail? I live in the big city now. That kind of coziness doesn't happen. If you get 5 CPS investigations in less than 2 years, you're going to jail. It won't matter if you're the child of the governor, you're going to jail. So it's this old South, good old boy system, knees deep, right, in the gentry. And this explains it. how Christopher Proudfoot, with his little anger problem, has been able to just explode, wrecking havoc all over town, stealing an infant baby, attacking children, beating up his wives, 5 marriages, 5 CPS investigations in less than 2 years, teachers at school reporting left and right, and still Christopher Proudfoot doesn't seem to have a care in the world, does he? I kept saying, no, this is not right. This is not normal. This is not the way real life goes. Why isn't this man and his little anger problem, why isn't he under the jailhouse? Everybody in the family is divorced and remarried, which makes it messy, Sandy. It makes it messy. Just like I said, all of the Christopher Proudfoot fan club, they've all got their little YouTube channels running around attacking good and decent people. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they're supporting who? This man with 5 wives and 5 CPS investigations? I mean, 5 must be your magic number, Chris. Every one of those people's related. It's like we're being punked, Sandy T. It doesn't even seem like a real story. It's so insane. And there you go. Barb said it. I can't say it any better than what Barb did. There it is, right there. And that is why social media has to keep going at it hard to bring attention to the Tennessee people higher than Sumner County. Murdoch went down, so can Mama Boom Boom. I totally agree. Look at what happened in Colorado with Barry Morphew and the murder of Suzanne Morphew. The prosecutor was so unqualified. Her attorneys that she had working for her were completely unqualified, and they completely mishandled this mess to a point that the judge dismissed. That wouldn't allow some of the expert witness evidence to come into the trial. And she said, well, I need to drop the charges until a later date. And when there were 3 of those cases that she was directly involved in that all played out the same way. And so then the state of Colorado stepped in, the state attorney general, and he said, what in the hell is going on down there in Salida, Colorado? You hear that, Christopher? Yeah. If it'll happen in Colorado, it'll sure happen in Tennessee. Someone in the state capitol is going to take notice of what's happened to little Sebastian. And they will care about the nightmare abuse that kid was subjected to. Yeah, they don't want to. If what's being said about the Bauer Sox and the Bradford group, if that's true, then the Sheriff Craddock doesn't have the age or the experience to stand up to their type. He'll just be a lackey. He'll just be running, scurrying about like a little rat, going, yes, yes, I can do it. I'll help you. Sure. Yes, 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 yes. And how do they know them, Alessia? They know the Attorney General of the state. Damn. Is he from Sumner County? The Attorney General? Yeah. JLR was absolutely silenced, and went even further than just being quiet. He actually got on the Proudfoot bandwagon. And I said somebody scared JLR because that wasn't in his nature. He knows them from donors, votes, and real estate circles. That was the other thing I said too, thinking about to Murdoch and whatnot. In these small towns, so your sheriff, that's a political position, right? They have to run for election. So the political positions, if you are a money person in these small southern towns, if you're a money person and you have the capacity to make big political donations, then you own that person. So whoever was backing Eric Craddock financially, that'd probably give you a pretty good indication why he's not legitimately wanting to investigate what happened to Sebastian. If the Bower Sox have the capacity to give Eric Craddock, $100,000 or $200,000, if they have that type of money, and I have no way of knowing what they have, but if they have that ability to put that kind of cash into his election coffers, he's not going to go against them. Why would he do that? He'll be running again in 4 more years. He's not stupid. There's not very many people in that part of the country that have that type of money. Why would he throw he's a young guy, he's sheriff. He legitimately could have 30-year career as sheriff as long as he doesn't piss off the donors. So why would he say, "Oh, I think you did that to Sebastian. I'm going to arrest you. We're going to have a trial." Because that'll be the end of his career. Whether he wins the trial or not, it's going to be the end of his career because they won't have any money. That is what you need right there, Sandy, for sure. You know what? All the rich people. Let me roll back up here to this comment so I can. Where is it? There. They donate to all the Power of People's campaigns in Tennessee. This isn't happening in a vacuum, Alessia. So back in the day, back when, let's say Donald Trump was a businessman, that's all he was doing was business. He would make financial contributions to Bill Clinton, and he would make financial contributions to who was back? I don't Bush, George Bush. Donald Trump made financial contributions to Jeb Bush's campaign, and he gave money to Hillary. Why? Trying not to piss off the people that make the laws. If you're a rich guy, your money opens the doors. And all you got to do is give it to the most powerful people in the room, and then you got to put in. Why in the world would all of those tech gurus, the masters, I call them the masters of the universe, why in the world would they willingly do what they could do to get Barack Obama elected? They shut down a lot of conservative voice, but now they're at Donald Trump's inauguration? And that was a weird thing to see, right? Why would they do that? Well, because they have more money than anyone else in that room, and they're buying influence. That's all. They're just buying influence. The only thing they care about is their companies, and so they're willing to give their money to whoever's going to be most favorable to them in their business needs. And that's that. Trump said he'd do something to find Sebastian. He needs this information. Did he say that? That'd be really great. The DA is corrupt, in my opinion, who shows up at the house of a missing child. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe unprincipled, right? That, oh, that's my friend's family. I won't bring charges because they're my friend. That, that'd be unprincipled, dereliction of duty, malfeasance. I think that law enforcement is taking Seth for a ride. I hope not, Alessia. But well, Julie brought that up today in her live, and I would agree. Seth was getting more frustrated, and I think that they just said we're going to try to calm him down and smooth things over by meeting with him more often. I don't know anything about that. But that was what Julie was saying. And if that's the case, maybe they are just trying to calm him down so he doesn't make trouble. But you know what, Seth? I'd make trouble, man. I would be up at the Capitol building with every single representative and your senator, and I would be saying, so you're okay with the fact that you're making laws, but your sheriff down in Sumner County doesn't want to follow your laws? And Julie Skolnick, is she still in here? Where is she? I thought she was here. Yeah, here she is. And so Julie Skolnick has outlined, I mean, she has done an incredible job at the charges of child abuse that Christopher Proudfoot and Katie could be targeted with. Um, there are witnesses, there is evidence, you've got open CPS cases, like everything you need to know is there. And because this is such a cozy little county, maybe the way to do it is to go to the state level and go directly to your senators and then your local representatives. And hell, you know what? If that doesn't work, go to the damn federal level. Bring, like Julie was saying today, bring a civil case against Christopher Proudfoot for endangering your son. Do it. If they're not going, after all the evidence that there is, if they're not going to do anything, start making waves. Don't be placated into silence after a year of Sebastian being gone missing. Not a sight of that kid, not a piece of hair on a sidewalk. He left nothing because he's magical. No, because he didn't leave by walking on his feet. That's not how he left the home. It's terrible, Brenda. Oh, did civil suit suggest, or not civil suit, did deception detective suggest a civil suit? Hey, that works for me. Put the pressure on them. Yep, put the pressure on them. I think Seth should talk to Julie. 100%. I think he should talk to Julie. Not on YouTube, but a phone call where you can actually talk to her, ask her questions. I'm telling you, Seth, Julie knows what she's talking about. She knows the system. She knows these laws. She knows what she's talking about. Seth will not press charges. He might. Tony is mad. Why did Tony get mad, Julie? Ugh, so frustrating. All right. So, I kind of got off topic because I was shocked when I realized the connections. That that Danny guy, that's amazing. Um, Okay, Jen and Don, thank you. Did you send it to Fools and Sages? Because Julie started that petition. But why be mad about it? It was a great petition. Oh yeah, same, Linda. I'm with you on that. Oh, good. All right. Thank you, Jenna, Don. I'll look at it as soon as I leave. Julie has a lot of knowledge. I wish I had when I was going through tough times with my kids. I totally agree. Probably because they think law enforcement is telling them information. Well, oh, because they started talking to. Okay, I get it. So law enforcement finally began to communicate with Seth, and they didn't want anybody rocking the boat that might make law enforcement pull back again. I guess that, yeah, I can see that. Exactly. Wait, what? That's another thing about SF Investigates. I'm like, now wait a minute, explain to me again how this works. You're the private investigator, and sometimes you have to pretend like you don't know this person so you can get them to talk about what you want to talk about. But if all you're doing is going on Twitter and calling people ugly names and going on YouTube podcasts acting like a famous person, how does that work exactly? It's weird, right? I don't know if you guys remember Mark Gillespie. He was a real private investigator, like the real deal. He didn't run around jumping on YouTube channels. Senator Bill Haggerty is from the same town where Bowerstocks are from. Ugh, makes it so difficult. Yeah, I knew that Pascal introduced them. I thought it was very strange that both Tony and Christopher Proudfoot did the whole crane thing. Thought that it's a small world, right? There's not many of those large cranes, and therefore not many actual workers. So it just seemed kind of, I mean, look, there are coincidences. Just because something is odd and like a coincidence, it doesn't mean it's not authentic or real. Um, I mean, I've had some pretty big coincidences in my life. The petition went up on one day, and then law enforcement connected with Seth within 24 to 48 hours. There you go, Della. There you go. So thank you, Julie. That clearly, if they really did reach out to him for 24 to 48 hours after the petition went up, we all know why they did it. Why would Pascal deny introducing them? He did introduce them. I was watching. He said they needed someone to be a spokesman so that the two sides of the family could be like united publicly. I'm talking about. Yeah, I saw it when it happened live. No, I understand one is operating crane, one is selling cranes. I do get that, but it's still a fairly it's a small world. Depend the more specialized your work is, the smaller the world gets, right? I think the heat from dog. You know what I think, Sandy? I think that the pressure is closing in on the young sheriff. That's what I think. I don't You're not dealing with a guy who's seasoned, you know what I mean? He's young, he's ambitious, may not be particularly bright, and he never thought this was going to happen. What do you think, Julie? You think old Eric ever thought that little Sebastian's case was going to blow up into a worldwide phenomenon like this? They were not counting on this. And I think Eric's getting real weary. I think he's getting I think he's beginning to question if protection of Katie and Chris is worth it. That's what I'm beginning to think. Oh, Snuggle Struggle's going down. he, Snuggle Struggle's sitting around in his office going, man, I knew I shouldn't have been friends with that guy. I knew I should have told him to call somebody else when he told me that there was something bad happened at his house. Yep. I think that is exactly what's happening. So keep writing your letters, Julie. The more letters you can write to that sheriff, the more pressure he's under. He is not an old seasoned fart. You know what I mean? He's young. He doesn't know how to deal with this. He does not know what he has walked into. I wonder if he regrets posting the snuggle struggle. He should. He should be embarrassed that he ever said it. Good, Sandy. That's awesome. Hey, Dakota Renee. He definitely thought he would have the old sheriff to help. I mean, it would you, just a question for everyone here. Would you like to be working in the sheriff's department protecting Christopher Proudfoot? Can you imagine sitting down at your computer every morning? You got your hot cup of coffee, black, and you think, okay, I got to open up my email this morning and read Julie's letter. I better check and see what they're saying online. Can you imagine the burden that he carries, knowing how many people are looking side-eyed at him? Not just us. It's not just us, y'all. Do you know how many people living in Hendersonville email me? They're all talking Christopher Proudfoot. You know that? Your friends, the people in Hendersonville, they're all side-eyeing all of you guys. It's not just us. That's the damnedest thing about it. That's what you guys are not factoring in. You think you could do a little bullying. You're going to silence a couple of people that think things look a little strange over there at the Proudfoot home. But you're not paying attention to the numbers of people. Christopher, everyone thinks that you hid something for Katie. Everyone thinks that. We're not the minority here. You and the Christopher Proudfoot fan club are the minority. Yes, Bliss. Yes, that's right. Oh, yeah. Hundreds of letters through snail mail to the sheriff's department. Absolutely. Don't come at us sideways. Don't make me pull my man card, Jen. Constables, Cletus and Clue only joined for the free donuts. FBI fights corruption in government, so maybe they will catch this. Yeah, maybe. I think eventually it is going to catch the attention of the big guys, and Eric Craddock will really have to answer for what he has not done. I had a chilling thought today. I was thinking about this. I'd been talking with Julie, and I was thinking about everything that she had said and everything she had brought up. And I got to think, I was thinking about the evidence, right? Because Julie was talking about there's great evidence for abuse. Like that's a done deal. That's an easy to win case. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about the evidence, and I kept wondering to myself, why, if the DA went over there to that house, let's just say it was for good purposes, and he's like, oh, this looks really shady. I better go over there and make sure this investigation goes properly so we can have a trial. If that happened, then you have to wonder, okay, well, if the DA goes over there like he did, why didn't they shut the house down? Why didn't they secure a potential crime scene? Why didn't they collect and preserve any items of evidence? Why didn't they spray luminol? Right? So you ask yourself those questions. It's pretty clear, no, the DA wasn't over there to make sure there was going to be a trial. The DA was over there making sure there would not be, in fact, a trial. And I suspect the DA probably said, hey, Eric, let's don't do the normal processing here. You know, it's a teen boy. He probably ran off chasing some girl. Let's just see if we can find the boy out in the woods, and let's just leave this house alone. We wouldn't want any luminol testing. You know what I mean, Eric? And Eric, because he's a lackey, because he's young and doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. DA. Yes, sir. Or maybe there was no luminol testing done because Christopher said to Eric, hey, Eric, we had an accident in our house, and it was just a bad thing. And I didn't mean to hurt Sebastian, but now he's gone and we don't know what to do and we need your help. And Eric says, oh, well, I'm so sorry. It was such a bad accident. I know, brother, you're a good man. I know nobody has to go to jail for this. Sometimes that kind of things happen, boy. And the cover up began. And so then Eric Craddock says, well, we're going to go over to your house. We're going to do, some investigating, make it look good. And Proudfoot says, well, wait a minute. What does that mean? Like, what are you going to do when you say you're going to investigate? Well, we usually go in, we collect a little bit of evidence, secure it for potential trial, maybe spray a little luminol, look for blood. And Christopher says, no, I don't want you to do that. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not really looking for blood. We're just trying to make it look good, like we really did do an investigation. Yeah, no, I don't think I want you to look for blood in my house. Oh, well, why? Well, because I think if you sprayed luminol in my house, things might look real bad for me. Oh, well, what's it going to look like? I don't know. We got, sometimes things happen, Eric. And you might find some blood in the bedroom. You might find it in my bathroom. You might find it in the kitchen. There's probably going to be some blood on the wall, like in the living room. And on the back porch, there's going to be some blood. Well, Christopher, I'm a bit intrigued. Why are we going to find blood all over your house? And whose blood would it be? Oh, well, it's probably going to be Katie's and Sebastian. Yeah. You know how things are. Sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Sometimes we just got to get our family whipped into shape. You know what I mean? And, we just had a couple little altercations. Katie tripped. One time she tripped, hit her head on the door. And that's, I helped her up. And then we were, we were in the living room one night and everything was going great. Maybe we had a little too much drink and she got real aggressive, and I told her to quit, and you're gonna find it there in the living room. So, and that's how that conversation probably went. And Eric said, "Okay, well, we know how things are. I'm not going to get into any man's marriage, so we'll just treat this like a runaway." And that was it. That's how it was handled, right there. Yep. Hey, by the way, here's what I think, Julie. I think Eric, after that little conversation where Christopher was just being direct, he was just telling it like it is. He was making it crystal clear for the sheriff what the sheriff was going to find in his house if they used luminol. Evidence of domestic violence all throughout the house. I think when Eric turned to leave the house, I think Craddock stopped on the top step and turned back around and looked at Chris, Chris, Christopher and said, Christopher, maybe you want to get your house good and clean. Here's a professional steam cleaning company that we use to go in and clean up a house after someone has died in their sleep. I think that's how it went. I think that's how it went. They might find something, Bliss. They might not. If it was a crime scene cleaning team, they won't find it. But if it was just like a regular maid, they might. But the crime scene cleaners, they know. They use special chemicals that break down bodily fluids. They understand how the blood can actually seep through cracks in between the paneling. Um, you think about it with Gannon Stout, his blood went through like something like 7 layers of substances. Della, I had never heard that before. I did hear him say that, but I don't know where he's getting that from. Maybe that's a California law. It, exactly, Julie. Yep. And now you'll wear that albatross around your neck for the rest of your life, right? Good night, Bliss. Thank you for being here. It's good talking to you. D. Marie, Jules and I saw bruises on both, and I surmised maybe Sebastian tried to break, fight up, and some happened to him. Sure. Yep. Vicky, you feel like Christopher Proudfoot bullied Eric Craddock? I don't think you might ask Julie what her thoughts are, but I don't think it would take much to bully Eric Craddock. I don't think that'd be hard to do. Elevated Truth said that Seth did not have a law enforcement administered polygraph. Law enforcement hasn't confirmed a polygraph for Katie and Chris. There's simply no reason at all to believe that Sebastian ever left the house, Blissful. I mean, I'd be inclined to agree with you, but there's literally nothing. And to be fair, the sheriff did acknowledge they had no reason to believe that Sebastian had ever left that house. Who was fighting, Dee Marie? I hope you will be back and join us again, Bliss. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, do the YouTube thing. But if you don't want to do all that, you don't have to. We're just happy to have you back again. Can you see a broken finger without an x-ray? Chris said he did not take the test. Hey, Fractured Fairy Tales. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, K9 Jules. How are you doing? He left between 1 and 3 a.m. Seth stated on Terry Lynn's that law enforcement told him that KP passed her polygraph. Well, I have a question, though, about that. If Katie Proudfoot passed her polygraph, can somebody tell me why she took 3? You don't typically retake polygraphs that you pass, do you? He is young, Blissful. Yes, he's young, and this case is a big case, even for the most seasoned investigator. He is overwhelmed by this, I promise you. All right, I am going to do my last thing now, and then we will end this live. Won't take long to do it. Just hang on a second here. Take me just a second to get to where I want to be. Here it is. Okay, here is a new creator. Where is it? There it is. Pincho Paxton. And he sounds suspiciously like my friend, but it may not be. But whoever it is, Pincho, you're brilliant. And so beautiful beautiful intro in it. Lovely, lovely.
A teenage boy called Sebastian Rogers.
All right. Now then, this is, oh gosh, Pincho, your channel blew up. Yay. All right. So Pincho yesterday was at like 400 subscribers. So awesome that we've got up this many. So what I want to do is I want to, hang on just a second, copy. I'm going to put this in the chat, and if the mods will keep sharing it, will you please go ahead right now and click over there and hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, because I'm going to show a little bit of this video, but I'm not going to snipe his video because he's got to get subscribers and then he's got to get view minutes, right? So I want to just sort of show this to you so that you can go, oh my God, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. This man is a genius. All right. And then when I end my live, I want you to go over there and watch the whole video. You're not going to believe what you see. And it will shut SF Investigates down. It will make him zip his lips anymore about the flashlight video. Okay? Basically, Pincho, through amazing science and talent and art, is able to turn the lights on so that we can see where the flashlights are instead of guessing in the dark. All right? You think he's going to rage more? You're probably right. All right. So I'm going to give everybody a few seconds. Go over, click over right now, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and then come back over here, and we'll watch a little bit of this, and then I want you to go over there and watch the whole thing so he can get his minutes. I'm telling you, we want this guy monetized fast. We want him making tons of content because he knows what the hell he's doing. This is an asset to the truth. Who's being paid by the Bauer side? Oh, I know you're talking about your mama. It can be debunked, though, Sandy. The SF Investigate's not smart enough to debunk this video. Yeah, me too, Mystic Firefly. I had to turn it off. I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, and didn't he act like he was so nervous? It was hard to watch. It was cringy. All right, let's see where we are on subscribers. We had 1.63. Let's hope we went up a little bit. You guys are magnificent. Love y'all. Okay, thank y'all for doing that. I appreciate that. Okay, so here is, remember, I want him to get the views. I don't need to get the views. This is his work, and it is professional, top-notch level work. So this is the video that's been so argued, correct? We had the wonderful, kind, authentic mob crew who gave us this video, did great work, and showed us what was not a trash truck. It is, in fact, two lights. Then Stephen Fisher got Clue and Cletus and Stephen Crabtree. They went over there and reshot the footage, but this time they did it in a way that they could include a house. So they could say, oh, y'all are looking in the wrong direction. And then Stephen Fisher, because he's such a great liar, it was his job to take the new footage that wasn't even the same recording and go on all of the social media and say, oh, no, that you didn't know what you were looking at. You were just too dumb and pathetic to understand. And you just listen to little old me, and I'll teach you everything that you need to know about Sebastian Rogers. Well, SF Investigates, you're going to have a really tough time with Pincho. Pincho is the rabbit that is going to poop in your Easter basket, son. All right. So this is our video.
More grainy looking. And there's the lights.
Now you see these two lights right here. Those are the flashlights. You see these two lights. Stephen Fisher wants you to believe that's the big white house where the man took the trash down. And these over here are supposed to be the guy with the trash. Remember that? The Uber cars that he just pulls out of his rabbit's hat and says, oh, look at this car. We know what it is. Yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with the price of eggs in China, Stephen. And then this guy comes along and makes this video. He uses 3D rendering. That is the Google Earth image. But then he begins building up the pertinent houses and locations and directions. And as he goes from a flat surface, choosing to build up into 3D only those houses that are most important to the actual video that he's analyzing. This is where the security camera is that we're used to looking at. And Mob Crew told us that we had to look out this direction over here, and the Proudfoot home is over here, and so we can see those flashlights coming down through in between these houses, right? SF Investigates, Cletus, Crabtree, Cluminati, They went over here and said, let us be scientists because none of us are educated. And let us try to pretend. And what they did is they lifted the camera up toward the sky and turned to the left a little bit. So they got this house. They're redirecting your focus from this direction. They're making you think that it's that direction and that it's right here where the guy brings the trash can down. And that's supposed to be the flashlight. That's the BS he's selling you. So the Proudfoot home, the flashlights are coming down. One goes this way. One looks like it maybe comes around this side or maybe to the side of the house here. The camera's here. They go over, reshoot it, but they tilt it up and they get this White House in it. And then SF Investigate rewrites the narrative because he's a liar. He rewrites the narrative. He says, you're not looking over here. You're actually looking over here. And the flashlight you're seeing is coming down back over here. Right? Now, this little jewel is just the beginning of Pincho's magic. This is where I want to leave you, to go over to Pincho's channel, watch the whole video, give him the views, give him the thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video everywhere. Everywhere. On Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. I mean, everywhere. Prepare to be amazed. Prepare to be amazed. All right? All right. And I'm going to check that subscriber number on Pink Show. Y'all get it up there. Y'all bump it up. We got to get this guy monetized so he'll be inspired to put out more work. We got to do that. This is what is going to make Steven Fisher absolutely ashamed to rear his head. When everybody sees this, it's all over. It's all over for Christopher Proudfoot. It's all over for SF Investigates. It's done. It's done. And you know what, Sheriff Craddock? You are also going to have to answer for what Pincho has put out. Because this tells the story, Sheriff Craddock. The easiest thing for you to do is to magically, suddenly decide to prosecute, or at least turn it over to the grand jury. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. Please, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you'll be honest. You'll go over there and watch this. You are going to be amazed. You will have no doubt who the liars are and who the truth teller is. Isn't that right, Mob Crew? Yeah. SF Investigates wants you to believe that Mob Crew is a liar or underinformed or irresponsible. Go watch Pincho's video and you tell me if Mob Crew is a man to be trusted. I know who I trust. Hands down, 100% Mob Crew, like no doubt. But watch this video, make your own decision. Make your own decision. I hope so, Della. I hope so. All right. Can we put the link one more time? Also, I hope that you will do the whole thumbs up thing and subscribe, if you will. And I always love to read your comments underneath the videos. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you enjoy Pincho's video. It's just wonderful. I can't even tell you how great it is. I hope you all sleep well tonight, and I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep, from missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn, in the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From Christopher's anger to Stephen Fisher's lies, the truth is calling, and justice won't be denied. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. True crime jewels on the YouTube streets. Likes are low, suspense is high. We're chasing truth, we spot every lie. Step into the darkness, hold on tight. Two flashlights out there in the dead of night. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep. Barry Morphew's case is hot. A boy in Tennessee won't be left behind. From the coldest cases to the ones that shine, true crime's calling, and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewel's got what you need. We're always watching Barry and waiting for the truth. In the world of crime, we discuss the proof. So hit that play and join the true crime journey with jewels of thought and her gemstone family.